What up everybody, it's your boy Young Fizz and welcome back to another tutorial. Today we are inside a Maschine studio and I'm gonna show you guys how I took this boring sample here.
I'm just saying you can do better.
And made it a little bit more interesting, of course. So without further ado, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube to support the channel and also follow me on my Instagram to stay up to date. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and show you guys how I did this here. Obviously imported the sample. The first thing that I did was change the pitch.
I'm just saying you can do better.
I did it down to -5 there.
I'm just saying you can do better. I'm just saying you can do better.
Alright, let me go ahead and show you guys some of the plugins that I used here. So the first plugin that I used, as you can see in my chain here, I use the compressor.
I'm just saying you can do better.
Of course, what that did was bring all the level up and just kind of, just compressed it and just made it sound a lot louder and also brought up the room noise as well. So to compensate for that, I said, you know what, let me add a Waves plugin called NS1, which I use a lot when I mix records, because I've come across a lot of people that have that don't use good room acoustics. So this here is supposed to help, block out that background noise, or at least that's what I use it for. And once I did that, it sounded like this here.
I'm just saying you can do better.
All right. So I'll switch back to the other page here. Next thing that you can see that I used is something called the Metaverb, which is a stock plugin inside of Maschine Studio. And when I added that, it sounded something like this here.
I'm just saying you can do better.
All right. Keeping up with the chain here, I went ahead and added a flanger.
I'm just saying you can do better.
And a lot of things that I do is very subtle, so I know you can probably barely hear it, but it's definitely in there. As you can see, the mix is down at 2%. All right, and that was just to give it some space. And then finally, I, added an EQ, and that basically just kind of brightened up the sound just a little bit, added some highs, some mids, so it can cut through the speakers a little bit better, and so we can understand what she's saying.
I'm just saying you can do better.
And that's everything that I did on this sound track, literally the sound here. And that was just on this track here. So the next thing that I did was I had two different samples. I added something called a group, which is inside of Maschine Studio. And as you can see, the first plugin here I used is something called One Knob, which is like a side chain compressor. It's called One Knob Pumper. So it's like a side chain compressor, and it sounds like this here.
I'm just saying you can do better.
All right. So once I have that added in, I went ahead and added a CLA 76, which sounds something like this here.
I'm just saying you can do better.
As you can also hear, it brings up those S sounds, which are so annoying. So I went ahead and added a de-esser, which softens those sounds there. So now you have something like this.
I'm just saying you can do better.
And then finally, to round everything out, I went ahead and added something called a Mondo mod, which is a Waves plugin. And it looks something like this here. And that's just to give it a little bit more space. So we have the de-esser, and then we have the Mondo mod, and then the CLA 76. All Wave plugins, great plugins to use. And let me go ahead and play that so you guys hear what that sounds like.
I'm just saying you can do better.
So it sounds like the sample is just moving around in space. And then when you put it all together, it sounds something like this here.
I'm just saying you can do better, do better.
And that's pretty much the sample there and how I made it interesting. So if you guys have any questions or comments, be sure to leave them down in the comment section below. And until next time, I will see you guys. Make sure you support this channel by subscribing to the YouTube and follow me on my Instagram, Mr. Dope Status. Again, it'll be in the description box below. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.